Kith and Kin to me, I mean, it does mean neighbors, friends, and family, but it's more of a feeling, I think, at this point. When you walk in, I mean, it's rare when I come in here and I don't know people. Whenever you walk in, there's always a friendly face. They know who you are. And we try to just make that warm, welcoming feeling. We also have young kids, so we do try to also foster a family environment. We hope that Kith and Kin has really, become the meaning of the name.
We wanted to have a feel to this place of a neighborhood restaurant. I wanted to use the techniques that I've learned in fine dining over the past 25 to 30 years in family restaurant. I wanted people to be able to come here, be comfortable, not feel like it was overpriced or too stuffy, or they didn't understand what was on the menu. To make things simplistic, but also have the techniques that are used in some of this more sophisticated food. Big part of us is kind of working with others. We've always been that way, even before we owned a restaurant. We do what I call, we source locally and responsibly. So I try to do the best I can to source things from local farms and or from co-ops, from different vendors and so on and so forth, just to be able to kind of help other small businesses and work with small businesses and know where your food comes from and how it's processed and handled before it comes to me, and same thing before it goes to the guest that's in the dining room.
When we first opened, we reached out to Steve at Hudson Hives to work with local honey. A lot of our meats and eggs are local as well, but we have met our mushroom guy at a farmer's market actually, and him and his wife were just getting started, and I think Joe was one of his first accounts. So that's just one of our purveyors. We try to hit up the farmer's market as much as possible to support small farm and all these other local farms that we can do.
We came out to this area and we just kind of did a walk through downtown, and my wife and I immediately fell in love with it. We saw the potential that was here. We just kind of had that feeling to it that just it had a sense of home to it. And so we bought a house in 2014, and we've been here and been loving it ever since.
We fell in love with this downtown. It was starting, you could see the glimpses of it turning around, and the community. We would walk down the street. We have the best neighbors. We just fell in love instantly with the town. The Armory is so beautiful. All the architecture and all the buildings, everything is so beautiful here. And then when we were kind of getting settled in as our family in Hudson, we started to see, Medusa popped up, New City came about, so many cute shops in town were open, and that's when we knew, all right, A, we hit the jackpot, we are really lucky that we did choose this town, and B, this is exactly where we want to open a business.
There's a lot of different factors that go into what's happened in town here, and it takes a village. So many different small businesses that came together, but not only that, but the town really helped in organizing and being accepting of small businesses and trying to do what they can to make sure that they give all the information and anything that someone needs. If you call certain people in the town hall, they will do whatever they can to help you.
We're so lucky that we've been embraced by those people and have formed a really nice foundation and friendships in the town. I can't thank them enough because they helped us get through just as much as we helped them. All the shops in town are so cute. You have to go hit up the cheese shop. We have two awesome breweries right on Main Street. There isn't a shop I don't walk into where they're we sent someone to Kith and Kin today. They were so excited. They're from here, and they just tell me the whole backstory.
There are a lot of fantastic restaurants in town. A lot of variation as well, whether you're looking for, a flatbread, wood-fired from rail trail, whether you're looking for, Mexican. We have both traditional and or Tex-Mex styles of restaurants in town. You have specialty shops like Katie's Cheese Shop. There's so many different things that you can really kind of look for in town.
It's so nice that this community, it isn't about I need to be the best. It's no, there's enough for everyone. This town is so awesome. And so if you want great pizza, go to the rail trail. Welly's is amazing. Their patio is beautiful. Just being able to, talk about, all the different businesses and truly mean it. That's what I think Hudson's all about.
I mean, it's been a roller coaster. When we first opened up, people didn't know who I was, who we were, what we stood for, what we wanted to do. So a lot of people are curious, checked us out, and it definitely took some time. for us to really kind of shine, if you will, and really show people what we can do here and how much we care and how much we want to do and give back to the community. And been very humbling as far as our support, with everything that we've done and having to pivot through all the trying times that not just us but everyone has had, and the support that everyone has gotten, not just us but everybody. Everybody knows everybody, and everyone gets along, and everyone supports everyone else, which is very rare in this day and age. To be in a competitive kind of market, if you will.
So for our breakfast item, we have our breakfast gnocchi, which is made with our house-made ricotta gnocchi, bacon locally made from North Country Smokehouse, 2 eggs sunny side up from the country hen, imported roasted tomatoes and sauteed spinach, topped with fresh hollandaise. Number 2, for a lunch option, we have our house smoked pastrami sandwich with on marbled rye with Gruyere cheese, Dijon mustard, and house cut French fries. And looking at our dinner option, we have our Beeler Farms all natural pork chop, served Cuban style. So it's brined in a local Grillo pickle juice, North Country Smokehouse, once again, grilled ham, Gruyere cheese, Dijon cream sauce over sweet potato puree and a garlic and spinach.
Okay, what's awesome about Joe is that, so I kind of do the events portion, and that's like a big piece of what I do and the community kind of stuff. But no matter what menu, I will be on Instagram taking pictures and being like, oh, and I just put this menu together, and then I send it to Joe, and I'm like, okay, this is what you're gonna do. And he always whips it up, and it's delicious without really much warning besides like a couple days. And so that to me is awesome and amazing in and of itself, because I can be rough on him in that regard. So there isn't much that he can't. If you tell him this is what I want, he's gonna produce it really well. So I think that's really special about Joe.